Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today we're going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé, the Couples Tell All Part 2. So hopefully you got a chance to watch it, whether on the day it came out or you streamed it, so you got caught up with what the couples were talking about. Now, I don't think it was as juicy as Part 1, but I think maybe Part 3 will. I think they saved the best for last and started with the first and just kind of keep us interesting for the second part. So before we get started, just like with any other video, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing, join the family, like this video, share the video, leave your comments, and here we go. And don't forget to tell a friend that Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom does the 90-day franchise over here. And we also do Married at First Sight. And if you have any other suggestions, please drop them in the comments or visit our Millennial Mom community page. You can leave it there or on millennialmom92@gmail.com for your suggestions. So, all right, here we go. Let's see. I know a lot of people haven't joined us, but right now for the live, but if you come on in. And if not, again, hello to the replay. And also too, want to make a quick announcement that this tell-all, I scheduled 2 lives because I thought it was a little bit unfair for the other 90 Day franchise and 90 Day Fiancé season 10 to go on this live, because we're strictly talking about the tell-all. So immediately after, if you want to join again, if not, you catch on the replay. It's going to be a brand new live. Click the link and we'll start back over with that 90 days episode. And that should probably take maybe about 30 minutes. So I'm not going to take too much of your time. So if you can join again afterwards, I really appreciate it. So let's see who's in the comments and we'll go ahead and get started. And hola to Frappes and Tea. Hello there. Yes, happy holidays to all, no matter what you're celebrating. And if you're not celebrating, hello and welcome. Thank you for joining. We have Miss Sharon. Hello. And hey girl, hey to Miss Tamika. And hello to Cynthia. So, all right, I'm going to drop the link already and get started and go from there. We'll talk about this tell-all because you know what? A whole lot didn't necessarily happen, but a few interesting things happened along the way that we actually saw on the final episode of the 90 Day franchise that they just kind of like brought over for the tell-all. So, like it says, tell-all part 2. So real quick, I'm going to start with, because it wasn't really anything to talk about. You are what you thought. I don't know. I know it's late for some of y'all. It's still early here. So just in case you had something else to do, I was just letting you know, but I appreciate it. Thank you. So really quick, we're going to start with TJ, Yash, and Kimberly. So Shawn decided to ask Yash, how did he feel about Kimberly and the infamous scream. Okay, that scream will go down in 90 Day forever. It is a forever moment that I don't think can be topped on 90 Day. Okay, but she asked Yash, how do you feel about Kimberly and his brother's relationship? And, you know, maybe were things in a better place? Because, you know, Kimberly and Yash kind of had it out before they got married. They really don't like each other. But Yash was cordial. He said, you know, that's his brother's relationship and he's got to deal with that. And we're going to step back and, you know, let him handle that. But you know what? In Indian cultures, the marriage is part of the family. Okay. It's an extension of your family. So, you know, they have some say about it, but I guess maybe this time around he wasn't going to say nothing for once. So I was like, okay, Yash, way to keep the peace with your brother because he's probably in the next room anyways, and you not trying to give your mom a headache anymore. You know, that's just how I put it with that. But Kim also asked about that scream and like, what did you do with the scream? And, you know, we saw, if you watched the episode on the final, what the scream did. You know, TJ went downstairs, was like, you know, she's up there being crazy. And the mom said, you know what, send her back to America. So that's how they feel. All right, even we know. I'm like, Shawn, why are you even asking him any questions or them? Their segment is over, and let's move on from that. So I don't know. Yes, Kimberly is cray cray for real. Like she needs some serious counseling. Emphasize the selling. That's Kimberly. So are you ready backstage? All right, here we go. Hello there. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Oh, and if any of y'all are experiencing weather, as I see on the TV on the East Coast, Midwest, stay safe, stay warm. I saw some tornadoes going through, maybe some snow coming and all that rain. Be safe, everybody, if you're in
Just
those.
cold,
Yo, that too.
40 degrees.
Ooh, yeah, that's cold. All right. So what you think about that quick scene with Shawn asking Yash? I thought he took the high road, but
He did.
isn't that right though? The family is an extension of the marriage. There is no separation. So, I think he did the right thing. Fred T said, would you want to live with someone who screams like that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No.
If I was TJ, I would be like, you know what, you go ahead and stay over there. Wherever she's from. Where's she from? Alabama. You can stay where you are. And maybe we could go back to our long distance relationship because Kimberly is not going to change. Your personality is set. This is for everybody in general. Your personality is set fairly early. You know what I'm saying? You very rarely come off of who you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? Who you are is who you are. So this is Kimberly all the time, clearly, right? But anyway, all right. So let's move to Julio and Kirsten. First of all, where are the receipts, Julio? You wasted our time. I really thought you had something bringing out your phone. And the conversation was just of you talking to Kirsten. Now, even though he said that Kirsten originally took his phone and deleted the messages, how would she know that there's messages if you didn't tell her? What's the point of that, right? So,
she did admit to deleting something because he didn't want to make her look, bad.
in my opinion, I think it kind of backfired on Julio. Because not with the phone call from Kimberly to hubby or whoever it was on their phone. I'm like, first of all,
Poppy.
If you're
no, on her phone it was homie, I think.
Homie.
Poppy, yeah.
Okay, I get that. I'm about to say because if it was hubby, I'm like, who calls their friends hubby or wifey? That's a beyond a friend, right? But anyways, the call seemed innocent. It didn't seem like she was leading the person into question because how would he know when exactly she would call or if she would call at all? But I do think, there are some friends, if you ever experienced, if you had male friends and vice versa, whatever, that you could tell if someone liked you like that, but you didn't like them. So you friend zone them. Maybe that's what it was kind of thing for her and not for him, But I think that was trying to come up with something to make her look. And I'm like, no, Julio. First of all,
take it off with him.
Yeah, you weren't being honest at all from the very beginning, right? Because when Kirsten made that point after the fact, like, oh, even his mother said he wasn't honest, that says a lot. I'm like, mic drop. Too bad she didn't say that, on the actual show. For Julio to, be DJing and then meet somebody at the wedding, and then you conveniently go on vacation with this somebody 2 months later, that's a relationship. So, I'm not on team anybody, but it shows that Julio, you weren't telling the truth, in my opinion. What do you think about that?
With me doing like events, being like taking pictures at events, there's a lot of times where somebody will say, hey, what's your Instagram? And we follow each other. And a lot of times it's harmless. Sometimes it's not, but a lot of times it's harmless. Right. But I don't think for him it was harmless. Because just like they were saying, that's why he was so cold and nasty to her, because he had the makeup artist.
Right. He already had somebody on the side, and 2 months is moving awfully fast. I'm not saying you can't, have someone be the one fast, but from you're already in a relationship to meeting someone at the wedding, and now it's all like, I'm breaking up with you, but whatever.
I think he was checked out a long time ago, though, and he was stringing her along.
Phil Foster Dog Mom says Kirsten wasted her time, and so what if she had a friend? Julio wasn't going to move to the Netherlands anyway. That's true.
No, she strung her along, definitely.
Yeah, that's very, very, very true. Let me drop the link one more time. All right. So, did you have anything else to add to Julio and Kirsten?
No,
Anybody? Okay. All right. So let's move to Holly and Wayne. So
the
we learned
runner.
she's a runner. She's a track
The
star.
track star.
Let's get our harmony together.
Okay.
Stop. Anyway, she's admitted she's
Shakari Jr.
right for 4 months, and Wayne hasn't spoken to her in 3 weeks. I find it interesting that Wayne, his phone has inconveniently been broke for 3 weeks. I was like, oh, for real? Like, okay, so we know that in South Africa, per Wayne, because I didn't know this before, so if y'all did, I don't know. You go off, the power grid goes off at certain times of the day, and you got these businesses, stuff like that, and you just find it like you don't need your phone. I'm sure if Wayne was low on cash, his dad would help him out because his dad seemed like he would help him, because he knows his business was on the rocks or whatever. But to not speak to your wife in 3 weeks, and you know how Holly is, you admitted she was depressed. Why wouldn't you want to talk to her? Or is he tired of her? Which one?
He's tired of her.
Mm-hmm.
He's tired of her shenanigans.
Yeah. And then how could you really be invested? This is more for Holly too, and Wayne as well, if you knew this information. If you already knew she hadn't been married for more than a year to any of the two other husbands previously, like there's an issue here with Holly. So, Frappes and T said the cast was going too hard on Wayne.
No.
I think so in a little bit about the phone being broke, like why you're not talking to her. On that part, yes. But as far as the cast talking to Wayne and then talking to Holly, because they look at Holly as meek. I don't look at Holly as meek. I look at Holly as like trying to get to the next level where she wants to be, whoever that man is, because she's just so freely with her love and her time, in my opinion. But I think that Shekina and who else was it? Tim and who else was chiming in? I was like,
Kenny.
Okay, I give Kenny. Kenny seems like he's more reasonable with his, comments, things like that. But everybody else, especially Shekina and Tim, I was like, no, you can't give any advice. And the advice they gave to me was more sarcastic. It wasn't like helpful, in my opinion. So, Frappes and T also said Holly is a lot to deal with, like Danielle. Well, we already know what Danielle brings to the table. We already know. Go ahead.
Holly was over there petting her hair like it was a Cheshire cat. She just kept rubbing and rubbing. I'm just like, girl, you need some counseling. All y'all need some counseling. I kind of felt bad. That's that one little twinkle. He's like, you kind of feel bad, but it's like you bring this on yourself, and it's like you. It seemed like you need a man to validate you and to hold your hand through everything. Like, I know 1 + 1 is 2, but he has to tell me it's 2 because I can't think for myself.
Yeah, and that's the sad part too with that. She's a little bit on the older side to still think that way. We realize that men and women do, but to be on this show and this type of romance and out your comfort zone, this isn't the place low self-esteem, in my opinion. Frappes and T said Holly was milking the sympathy, but she always does. She gives that damsel in distress, the Rapunzel damsel in distress kind of vibe. Hello, Dolores. How are you?
Hey, Dolores.
Again, I'm not surprised that Holly left South Africa. I don't think most of us are, because A, she was a runner and a track star. B, she didn't have anything to do. C, Wayne couldn't provide. I don't think she's a gold digger, but I think she wants to come up with someone with cash. I just really do think so. And I think she was on the wrong show for that too. I think that she really didn't want to be there after she saw her environment, when she first rolled up to the place with the electric fences, stuff like that. She was like, we're not in Kansas anymore,
Right.
So I think that's really one of the things that got her down, besides her having a super close relationship with her mom. It doesn't give Holly has friends outside of
she doesn't
job, so that would make sense. So I don't know. Do you think that Wayne abandoned Holly or vice versa? Which one? Anybody? Because the question was asked by Shawn. Did Wayne think that he abandoned the marriage or the relationship? I'm like, but she left. So how did he abandon the
He
relationship?
could have emotionally abandoned her.
Okay.
And she physically abandoned him.
Okay. Well, I guess that goes hand in hand, right? When it comes down to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Frappe T said her and the guy from the Love After Lockup would work out. There's so many, you got to be specific.
Which one?
There's so many. Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. When Shawn asked if Wayne still wants to be in a marriage, and he said he didn't know. And then that's when Holly started crying. And he's like, calm down, calm down. How are you supposed to calm down? It's just that you didn't know. But then again, Holly, you left for 4 months. What do you think this is? You just can't leave your husband and expect him to still be like rainbows and butterflies. I don't know what she's thinking about. I really don't. Holly is
she was expecting him to follow her. And he was like, no, I'm not going to America.
Stella Foster Dog Mom says, Wayne gave up on her emotionally. Holly is a drain. She is a drain. She really is. Did she even cook? Did they ever show that? I never saw them eat except for one time they went to a restaurant. And I don't think she ate anything. So I don't know. I'm just asking out of curiosity. All right. Well, we know what Holly did after that. She got up and she went backstage because, you know, it got too hot for her out there. From what the other cast members said and Wayne. All right. So let's move to Kenny and Armando. So they had a rough patch after the season wrapped. They've gone through the surrogacy process. And I was saying this for a while. I'm like, if they choose that one surrogate, remember, I'm like, they may not be able to have this baby. She may take the baby. She didn't give she was ready to give it up because she seemed emotionally attached to the baby without even being pregnant.
Being pregnant, yeah.
So they spent $74,000 on the process. I was like, wow. I wonder if
what y'all do.
Yeah, I wonder if you ghost the clinic as the woman, if the embryos you gave, are you still able to use those embryos, or I wonder how that works.
I think that's why they say they only have so much time now. They only got like 2 weeks to do it. So they may have to wait. But whose embryos? Because if they're embryos, that means it's already been fertilized. So whose eggs were they?
That's what I mean. Is it the lady that they chose? Because I'm like,
oh, okay. They was gonna put the donor eggs in the okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure about that because then who's going to carry the baby? You know what I'm saying? Because if you picked that person to carry I don't know. It's complicated, clearly. So, all right. So now they're back at square one. So they have 7 embryos. They got those 2 weeks to decide. Now, Kenny is getting very emotional. Now, Kenny is still holding at 61. I'm telling you, Kenny has been 60, 61 for a while. But whatever. He's got a good facial routine. Wherever he's doing is working.
He uses Sedoni.
Okay. But he's very emotional talking about his relationship with Armando. Very emotional. He said Armando keeps him young, keeps it spicy, but Armando is not as submissive as he was. I was like, you know, they did TMI on that, in my opinion. I was like, oh, okay, all right. If I had to think about it, I honestly would have thought it was reversed, but whatever. So Armando seemed like in part of the segment that he was, I don't know, I don't want to use that word. I was gonna say ungrateful, but that's not the word. Maybe a little bit put off by some of the things that Kenny was saying. You know? And then when Tim chimed in, I was like, even though you might think it, I still feel like Tim's comment was inappropriate. I mean,
it was.
As the viewer, in my personal opinion, I could tell Kenny was doing this for Armando. Clearly, age-wise.
Everybody knows that.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I think that was obvious and what the outcome could possibly be. But then again, no one's perfect in the world. And Armando, it could be Kenny and not, you know what I'm saying? something could happen to Armando. You never know. But I just think that it was just real rude of Tim, and just whatever his message was, to me, didn't come across as from a friend, from, I care about you guys. Like, no, I just think he's just doing it just because, and he should do something else and move on. I'm like, I think they need to reevaluate their friendship. But when Armando, he said it jokingly, he was like, yeah, that's why you text Kenny, hey, daddy. I said, oh, no. I don't care how cool we are. I'm not texting my friend daddy.
You're not playing enough.
That's
it's disrespectful.
Right. Let me ask you a question, and also for the chat. Why do you think the alumni was there? What's their point of this? Just to insert their personal feeling, or because
so they can stay relevant? Maybe they're coming back on another show. I don't know, but why are they there? That was pointless.
Very pointless. Yes, Tim has his own issues.
He does. And he always want to try to stay relevant. And it's like, dude, okay, you're giving me Big Ed vibes. We're tired of seeing you.
Yeah, to help Shawn. I mean, if you
she
watch
Pillow Talk,
right. She don't need help. If you watch Pillow Talk, I know you do, Tamika. Anybody else watching on replay or in the chat? I mean, when he's with Veronica in the Pillow Talk, okay, former castmates watching other castmates, that's different. But to come on TV and to say, what I don't think, that's not cool. That's a conversation to have off camera, whatever, not to bring for us to know how you feel. You know what I'm saying? Because people have said for years, and Tim has denied it, and whatever his business is his business, but they say Tim may not recognize that he's living another life. He's not open to possibly what it is because he gives off different type of energy. But I mean, it's whatever. I just think that
he's giving off being on the fence energy.
Definitely so. Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, Frappe and Teacher said I was talking about Chaz, her love. Now Chaz would hook her up. Chaz, he would hook her up. He would.
Yeah.
Cynthia says maybe because Shawn doesn't ask questions. I think she asks a lot of leading questions. She don't ask like bottom line to the point questions. I don't think so.
Now, they need Tamar on there.
We still a little bit more pizzazz. You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit more pizzazz. Now, what do we think about after all that was said and done, and then we see the stripper and everything else? How come Sarper gave the tip? Did y'all do it with them? Did you put out your left hand? Did you do
I was disgusted.
I was like, this is some serious TMI. And I'm like, why are we even bringing him into the mix, And
Shawn, why are you fanning yourself like you over there having a whole conniption?
Okay, because you will be 2,502.
No, probably about 2,684.
Right. You don't think he stopped after 20?
No.
Yeah. Okay, let's
She's
see.
in America. You know he getting it in.
There you go. Vel Foster Dog Mom says, as all the Peanut Gallery was there to help keep controversy, that Shawn would look hard asking. I think I know what you mean about that. Okay. Dolores says, was Tim and Veronica married? No, they're engaged. They're engaged. And on top of that, when the break happened, I wasn't even going to mention this, but since I brought it up with Sarper. When they went to break, they went backstage. Why did Tanya lead a group of Never Have I Ever and, innuendos, things like that? Why did Tim say that he and Veronica was in other relationships with other cast members? I said, oh. Okay.
And Danielle.
And she got the nerve to be mad at Yohan. But was it with Yohan? Because who's the other cast member? You got Yohan and who? Anyways, moving on from them. Do we have any other comments about Armando, Kenny, Tim, and Sarper giving dance lessons?
No, they need to retire them.
For sure. All right. Yeah. Let's move to Danielle and Yohan. So I typed out, well, the cat's out the bag. Danielle has found out about 50 to 60 mistresses that Yohan had. But first, Danielle said that she was back in the DR. I'm like, for what? If you weren't getting your stuff, first of all, don't take half your stuff, take all your stuff. I've told her this before, a good 2 weeks ago. Don't take half all your stuff. Take all your stuff. That went for Yohan when he left and for you. So you don't have to come back. She said some kind of way she had dinner with Yohan's mother and sister because, I've always had great relationships with people I've had in the past. Okay. You may have left on good terms. Clearly, we know you didn't because how you left was with those text messages from the main mistress, right? And
Exactly.
so how is all of a sudden you go back to DR and you be like, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? You want to have dinner? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you want to stay in contact with his family, I guess. Now, y'all think about this. If any exes you have, are you that cool with the ex that you're cool with and his family just to have random texts and have dinner, stuff like that? Is anyone really that cool? I'm asking, like right now. My answer is
no. Now, I will say this. When you divorce the man, and sometimes you don't divorce the family. So in my situation, yeah, I divorced the sperm donor, but with my daughter, his mom, I still called his mom my mother-in-law, up until she passed away. I was still, his sisters still refer to me as their sister. The nieces and nephews still refer to me as their aunt, but I don't have nothing to do with him. And they know that. And so even my daughter knows that. I was like, it's on site if I ever see him. But one thing and because of like stuff he said to me, it's no coming back from. And just like this stuff that he said to Danielle, there's no coming back from some of that. And for you to sit down and break bread with this person, you need to be just right beside all of them other ones in the line, like in that Bugs Bunny and Elder Fudd cartoon. They all in the line. You need to be in the line for some serious counseling. Because there's no way that you're gonna talk to me like that, and now we're gonna sit down and eat without me putting some arsenic in your food.
Right. I mean, I get that. You still be okay with the mom and stuff like that, but everyone don't have that type of relationship. And if you were disrespected like that, then everyone's cut off. I mean, for my situation, I've been divorced since my kids were like in elementary school. They're adults now, so there's no conversation, and hasn't been with nobody. Like they all went over there, so you can stay over there. And I just kept my peace, kept it pushing. But I mean, as far as Danielle, there, like you said, there's no coming back from that. Let me read some comments and we'll get back into her scene. Dolores says, I'm not surprised Yohan had other women. Me neither. No. I'm not surprised. The amount, yes. But other women, no. For me. Phil Foster Dog Mom said, Danielle and Yohan are both money hungry. They're looking for a way to milk TLC. They were supposedly over after the last tell-all. That's true, too. That is true. You're right about that, Phil Foster Dog Mom. You are correct. Well, after, Danielle thought she was being, Miss America, coming to break bread with Yohan and his family. She also said that she has unrestricted access to Yohan's social media because she created all the passwords and she knows what he's doing, this and that. She went on to say that he wants cash. I'm reading the quote. He wanted cash from every one of these women that he reached out to because he was collecting money. Don't ask me where it is because the fact he says he paid for everything is straight comedy, she said. She said he also has multiple women that he's in a relationship with now that they think they're the only one. I was like, okay. I mean, it's wrong, period. Wrong. However, you are sending Danielle mixed signals. You're sending mixed signals because if you don't care about these mistresses, you're airing all the dirty laundry. You talk about when he was also at the hotel that, that's why he wanted to live with this apartment. So it could be the house of Yohan and his concubines and all this other stuff. What is the point of going to counseling, things like that? Because a lot of things that she said happened before they got married. So you still got married and you still went through counseling. And then you also went to a life coach and you still wanted to get right? So now she wants to bring it out to air him out because what now? Because she's embarrassed, because the last straw was the text, or what? That's what I don't understand. You knew this before, so why are you complaining?
I wouldn't be surprised if she'd be back with him 6 months.
If that,
probably about 3 months. She'd be back with him.
Because if you breaking bread, right? You breaking
Yeah.
bread. I don't see the point. So, anyways, Yohan called her a lie. He denied it all. He said, "You're a Diablo." He said that Danielle may have paid the women off to lie about him. He said, "I don't know if she paid them or what." And now she wants to pull that out because she was the one who messed things up. Now she wants to clear her name and act like a saint. I was like, Yohan. Now, maybe she did offer some little something to these women for information, but he didn't say that he didn't accept.
He didn't deny it.
Exactly. So which one is it? Sharon said red flag. She ignored them. She most certainly did.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly
they
did.
were slapping her in her face.
Exactly. I feel a little sorry for Danielle because as a woman, as a person, no one should have to go through that. No one should have to be disrespected like that or feel a certain type of way. But then again, like I said, if you knew this before you got married and you went along with it, it's the same as Shekina, kind of. Shekina knew about Sarper and his number, and you knew about Yohan and your number, and you still did it. So that's my part right there. Cynthia says, "I feel no sympathy for Danielle. Both of them used each other." Okay. To be in the Dominican, to stay for a little while? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So did you have anything else to add with that?
I'm tired of them.
Yeah, this part of the tell-all wasn't a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just enough to wet, the
We were
surface.
whistle.
Yeah, I will say this, that next week, Mary and Brandon better bring it.
That's what I want to see. And the mama.
I knew they wouldn't be on part 2. I was hoping we get like a little bit of a teaser and then over, but we didn't get it. So, but next week on the part 3 finale, we have Mary and Brandon in the hot seat. Brandon said he calls Mary a scammer and a bee. He also said Mary doesn't want him to look at other women, but she posts bikini pics and dancing on social media. I said, what?
And she said, "Oh, that's everybody does it." Nah.
No,
they don't.
No. Listen, she may not be a B, but she's definitely giving off scammer. Now, speaking of Mary and Brandon, just in the way that she's having Brandon, follow her lead, but he should have figured that out by now. I pulled the picture of little baby Midnight. Let me show her picture. That's their little Midnight.
She's so cute.
At the bottom, you can't see. It says, "What a beautiful baby girl. I hope Brandon will be able to look at her." So, because she's a little girl. She is cute. She looked like a mama.
She's adorable.
I heard she was 5 months old. So
mad that her name is Midnight.
I know, right? So anyway. Okay. And then also we have Holly calls Wayne on FaceTime to ask if he wants to end it. The relationship. And I think, Holly, you already did end it personally. I don't know what else is left, Kalani asked Shekina if she wants her daughter to be in a relationship like the one she's in with Sarper. And Shekina said, "I don't know what you're talking about. This is the best relationship I've ever been in." So
I was like, I know you lying.
That's exactly, girl, that's a quote. That's what I said. I said, "I know you lying."
I'm like, who said that? In my Portia Williams voice. Who said that this was a healthy relationship?
Exactly. And she knows that it's not. She knows that, because if it was so healthy, listen, you wouldn't have had him change the bed. You wouldn't have had him change this, that. You wouldn't have got mad at the things he said. You just would have rolled the punches and kept it moving, right?
If brainwashed was a person.
Right. Well, brainwash is a person. It's Shekina. Okay. She is reliving, in my opinion, her days when her family was in her words, in a form of a religious
cult.
Correct. So, and then Andrei, I still don't like the fact that he walked up to her, period. I don't like it. I don't care what she said to him. I don't care if she cussed him out. It is not his place as a man because it comes off, he already comes off aggressive. So if Andrei walks up to you as a woman or a man, but in this case, Shekina, and ask a question in a tone like, oh, so you think that I shouldn't say XYZ? Of course, it's like, excuse me, can you go sit back down kind of thing. So it looks like, Andrei can't control his emotion.
I was baffled that Sarper didn't say nothing.
He did say something. He said that if I was there, it would be a different situation, which I believe.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear him say anything.
Yeah.
But did he say something while he was standing there or while he walked away?
I'm not sure.
That's the difference. Like, did you say something? You saw him standing there. Did you say something to him? Like, dude, go on. No, that's not what we're doing.
Yeah, I'm not sure when. I mean, I saw the clip, but I'm not sure if he was still standing there or when he left. So we'll find out next week. And then also we see Shekina's friend. What's his name? Dan, George, something like that, who wanted to get with Shekina before she went over to Sarper. That's trying to get at her. And he said, we went on a date and things kind of like got maybe a little romantic. And Shekina's like, nope. I don't think Shekina, just by the way that we feel that she's, me and you to make it, anybody else in chat, feel like she's been brainwashed or whatever, would admit that. Can you imagine the calls and texts and FaceTimes from Sarper if you even said you did?
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's going to. He's probably over there boiling, and they may not have they may not have engaged with a plug in a socket, but something happened.
Yeah.
I mean, because
the friend was going hard for her before she left, so something happened. Now, Shekina did say he wasn't necessarily her type, but she knows he's good for her. So I remember her saying that. And then real quick, Cynthia says, if Sarper was there, Andrei wouldn't pulled up to Shekina. No, I don't think so. But then again, Andrei,
he would. Yes, he would.
He's like that though.
Yeah, he would.
He's confrontational like that.
Very confrontational.
Phil Foster Dog Mom says, why didn't Julio intervene with Andrei? You see how I had to pause right there? Julio, please. I'll finish reading the comment. Why didn't Julio intervene when Andrei jumped up? I thought he was a real man. That's why Kenny stays young. He stayed out of ish, protect that face. True, Kenny stays out of stuff. If anybody between the two, I think Kenny, if things got aggressive, would have maybe jumped up. Julio is exactly who he is, a mama's boy, and he probably been the first one off the stage looking for Holly.
Yeah,
I don't believe that for 1 minute. I don't. You don't give me.
Tim would have got up too.
Yeah, Tim would have got up too. Tim is taller than I thought he was. Tim is at least 6'1". I thought he was short, but he's not.
He's tall.
So, all right, everybody. That's the end of this tell-all. If you saw, there was another link that came out. I'm doing the 90 Day Fiancé season 10 at 5:15 Pacific, 8:15 Eastern. So if you can join, we'll talk about that. I didn't want to add it to this because some people don't watch the tell-all. They watch the other video based off of the analytics. So if you can join, I'd appreciate it. And that video, that live will probably be like maybe 30 minutes. Not going to keep you all because the main character is Citra and Sam. I got a lot to say about that too. And
he looks crazy. But that's another story.
Yeah. So in about 20 minutes, if you can rejoin, click the link and I'll be back. If not, catch the replay. And I will see you then. And to make a message you on Instagram, okay?
Okay.
All right. Good evening, everybody, if I don't see you again. Okay? 5:15 Pacific, 8:15 Eastern for the next video. Okay, take care, everybody. Good night.
Bye.